This is the Flabbergasted Podcast, where we just can't believe you haven't seen it.
Every episode, we discuss a movie that one of us has seen and the other hasn't.
And sometimes that neither of us have seen.
Follow us on Instagram
At Flabberpod.
and subscribe in your podcast app of choice. I'm your host, Jessica.
I'm your host, Rogi. Let's get to it.
So we're talking about the 1991 Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Sue Ellen Crandall is a teenager eagerly awaiting her mother's summer-long absence. While the babysitter looks after her rambunctious younger siblings, Sue Ellen can party and have fun. But then the babysitter abruptly dies, leaving the Crandalls short on cash. Sue Ellen finds a sweet job in fashion by lying about her age and her experience on her resume. But while her siblings run wild, she discovers the downside of adulthood. So this is a movie that I just have really fond memories of. I'm pretty sure I either watched it with my dad or at some point we ended up watching it together. Back in the day when movies were on HBO, they rotated like the same movies all month long. So like there was variation, but you could catch the same movie like multiple times. And so I don't know if we watched it together first or if we watched it, together after that. But it's just one that I always think is, I don't know. It's just, I have very fond memories of watching it. It's funny. Even watching it now, like there are parts that don't age well, but it's still pretty like entertaining.
There's a couple parts where I was clearly laughing. And then a lot of it where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is literally one of the wildest things I've ever seen. I was trying so hard not to just like scream at the TV at multiple points because I was like, save it for the pod. Like, let's go.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Oh my heavens.
Christina Applegate is Swell, and Joanna Cassidy is Rose, and then blah, blah, blah. Josh Charles is Brian.
Mm-hmm. Brian.
And David Duchovny is in this, which is crazy. And
we recognized the sister. Because,
Melissa.
Yeah. She's in Free Willy. She's in a bunch of other stuff, mainly like horror or whatever, but I definitely recognized her. Like once I saw that she was in Free Willy, I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then I feel like the little brother,
Walter.
like he's in a few things.
I do not remember her from Free Willy, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I think she's one of the hooligans that ran around with
like
the main
in the
kid.
very beginning for like 5 minutes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
It's been a minute since I've seen Free Willy.
Yes, it has. This film is rated PG-13 for, I think, adult language is what the card showed at the beginning.
Yeah.
But there's definitely, I think it's interesting. I would like to do a little bit more research about when like the rating system changed a little bit because PG-13, okay, but
there's some innuendos in
yes,
here.
like
and
it was
like,
heavy.
It's not like, I mean, yeah, if I was a kid watching this, like I wouldn't have picked up on it at all. But like there are a couple of them where I was like, okay, like
you're a little like, oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't actually say, by the way, Rachel's here with me today.
People can figure it out. They know my voice by now.
Yeah, if they're, a listener, a normal listener, they'll know who you are. But yeah, so you've never seen it before, obviously. I've seen it, good memories of it. And you were just game to jump in and try this movie.
Yeah,
You're
we
like,
talked
okay,
about
sure.
it a little bit. And like I've heard of it. Like I've definitely heard of the title. It wasn't one where like, oh my gosh, like, never heard of this or whatever. But it was just never something that I think was like on or around. Because I mean, it was in 91.
The wrong time frame for you.
I'm not, it was not around and on streaming regularly and whatever when I was watching these and doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, technically I would have been, 6 at the time? And I'm sure that I was older than 6 when I watched this.
yeah. But I feel like with it, like playing on TV and stuff, like you're going to see it on, what you said, HBO, 95, like you're 94, like you're
a little bit later. And
so,
yeah. Okay, so it opens up fun credits. We all know how much I love fun credits, like little cartoony. And Rachel's like, wait, when did this movie come out again? This is a little weird. In 91, so that helped.
And I was like, oh, this makes sense. Like, because it reminded me of like McGee and Me. Like, just because of, like, animation and everything. And
oh, my
I was
gosh.
like, I know that this isn't what
Which is very Lizzie McGuire.
Yes.
Like, Lizzie McGuire totally
Yeah.
ripped that off, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I recall correctly.
And me.
Yeah.
Those were the
That
days.
was so far back there, I wouldn't have even picked it up if you hadn't said it.
Oh.
Okay, so first thoughts, we're opening on this house. Like, we're 7 minutes into this movie, and Rachel's like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. And I'm like, okay, like, do you want to talk about this now, or do we save it? Like, we paused the movie so she could, like, wrap her head around it a little bit. But go ahead, first impressions.
I honestly, just wild. I feel like that's the best way to describe this movie and everything that's happening in it, because there's so many things going on.
But you have to tell us those things. Wild's not going to cut it.
It's opening up on the girls and their fashion. I love what everything's wearing, and they're shopping, and they're just complaining about their high school lives, and they're all going to Europe for a trip.
Yeah.
And oh, well, my mom's going to Australia and I can't wait because she's the worst. And like, I'm just like, is she really the worst, or is she like, kind of a mom that's going crazy? Turns out she's kind of the worst. Like, the house is a hot mess. She's not caring about the kids, calls up this random woman to watch her children.
A whole bunch.
I know, but it's because it just, oh my gosh. So yeah, like, where are we starting from?
I mean, you jumped into she's kind of the worst. I'm like, dude, there are 5 kids and she's a single mom and they are not doing any chores. And did you see the size of that house?
I did see the size of that. I know. Okay, so the mom, I'm sure, isn't the worst. Sounds like she's been through a lot. Divorce. Dad sounds like a deadbeat, like himself, yada, yada. But she's dropping everything.
She's dropping everything
and going to Australia. So she has made choices
for sure
that have led to it. Because I doubt the deadbeat dad started when the 5th kid popped out.
Right. Like, so fun fact there, she said something about 37 years, right?
The mom?
Yeah. She said
is that how old she is?
It's been a rough 37 years, or
yeah,
I
think that's how old
break
she is.
Or something. Right. So if she's 37 and Sue Ellen is 17, that means she had her when she was 20.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not the youngest I've ever seen, but it's not the young. It's not young either.
No, yeah. It's still young.
It's still pretty young.
For sure. I mean, back in the day, like, yeah. I mean, they did get married pretty young back then. So I think poor choices by lots of parents in this. Man, women, all of them. But
everybody was making poor choices, yes. Except for maybe Brian.
Brian seems pretty chill. Like, he's, other than parking his van in the sand.
Yeah. He's fine. It's fine.
But I am frustrated with, and I'm sure I would be more frustrated with the dad if he was on screen. But I just didn't get as much screen time.
Right.
Like, so
I don't really know anything about him.
I don't get to complain about him very much. And so I get to complain about this mom because what I saw is her trying to manage these children. And
they have zero respect for her.
Zero respect. They're not doing anything. None of them care about, like, all of them actively say at one point in the movie, don't call mom. We don't want her to come home.
Yeah.
Like, so what is the relationship here? Like, what is going on that they don't have money for food, but they also don't want their mom back?
Yeah.
Like, starving or have to see your mother. Like, that's an easy choice for me. I'm fine with seeing my mom. Like, that is not something where it's like, ooh, this is tough. Like, so there's just a lot that we don't get to see. And honestly, it would probably be even more wild if we saw it. But the mom just decides to call up this random babysitter woman that she has no idea who. She never met this woman before.
It did not seem like she'd met her. Like, was there any vetting process at all?
It doesn't sound like it.
No.
Like, and this was like an hour before she's leaving. So this is all happening extreme. So she didn't tell the kids that there was going to be a babysitter. The babysitter shows up. They knew that she was going to Australia. They kind of said goodbye to her. And then she left. And then it's just these kids with this woman.
Bad decisions on how you parent through change, which, yes, I hear you people, but I'm still saying it.
It's just wild.
Yeah.
And we don't see the boyfriend. He just has a sheep farm in Australia. Where did she meet him? Shepherd Australian? Like, where is he? So she's going to do that for
she
the
met
summer.
him online.
Okay. So she's going to do that. So mom's gone. She calls twice during the summer to check in on the kids.
Yeah.
And it's all just like, whatever. Like, those conversations are so incredibly quick. So we barely see the mom again.
I mean, in the defense of the movie, like, I have seen teenagers try to talk on the phone, and it's not great. Those conversations
can be tough.
Yeah, it's a very big skill to be able to carry on more than like a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah. But I think it was interesting just to like look back in that time period. She left her an envelope of money and was like, here you go. This should be all you need. Here's, some phone numbers. And this should be enough money for you for the summer. Yeah. And this should be great. No conversation of like compensation for this babysitter.
Right.
Of like, so maybe that's just payment she would get when she gets back. And this is just to like helping for care with the kids. But like, I mean, that's just what life was like back then. Yeah. So, like, can you imagine if they had gotten robbed or if there was, like a big, like, car accident or something, or like something that, like, they had to kind of pay money for and then they didn't have enough? Like, what if the babysitter didn't have any funds on, like, available or like a bank account? Like, the kids would have had
wretched friends.
Yeah. Like, there's a reference we never come back to. Like, who are all these adults and why do these kids hate every single one of them? Yeah. Like, there is not a single adult that this child wants to interact with at all throughout this entire film. No. And it's just like, what happened that those relationships led to this?
So bad, yeah.
And it was never navigated. It was never talked about. It's a 90s movie. This is where we are.
This is what's happening. Okay, before you go too far, I have notes.
Okay.
The one, Sue Ellen gets home and her mom's like, why did you leave your dishes for me in the dishwasher? And Sue Ellen says, you take this so personally. And then she's like, well, why didn't you just unload the dishwasher? And she's like, well, that's Kenny's job. So those two things I'm specifically pointing out. Also, her lipstick game is totally on point this whole movie. It's insane.
Her makeup, her nails. Her nails
were amazing.
Multiple times throughout the film. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want those nails.
And then Babysitter, I don't know if those were compression stockings she was wearing or regular stockings, but they were wrinkly, so they were not compressing the way they should have been. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, they were just, I think it was just part of the look to make her look granny and oldie. And yeah. But also, I do want to point out, before it gets too crazy into this, at one point, when Swell is talking with her friends, she's saying about how Kenny's going to take care of the kids all summer so she can be at the beach.
Yeah.
Like, in her mindset, that's what Swell's thinking, is that her other brother is going to take care of the kids and she'll be able to do
Has
nothing.
she met her brother?
It's, honestly, after meeting him, I'm like, why would this comment ever come out of her mouth? Like, how does she think this is going to happen?
What delusional world is she living in?
Yeah, he smokes marijuana with his buddies and just hangs out and gets D's on his report card. Like, she knows the type of guy that he is, and it is not one that's going to be taking care of his younger siblings. Yeah.
100%.
Crazy.
Also, she's smoking.
Yeah.
Like,
the
did they get product placement for cigarettes? Because she is smoking. Rose smokes a lot. I didn't either, but they should have.
Should have, yes.
I mean, they smoked a lot.
Into like a Jurassic movie with all the lace chips everywhere.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's definitely 90s when they're smoking like that too, by the way.
I did not appreciate the the difference between the music that was happening during certain scenes, because it's this mom just gaslighting her daughter about leaving and just like how, I don't know, their relationship, but like the music is just like, oh, it's just because I care for you. Like, that's what the feeling is trying to get me to do. But I'm like, no. The words that are coming out of your mouth do not line up with what emotion you're wanting me to like get from this music. And so I didn't appreciate that at all, because I was just like, no, this is not this is gaslighting and manipulation. And like, this is why we have like 90s kids have no idea like how to filter their emotions half the time. It's because we were brainwashed into watching these movies where they're just like, no, this is what normal life is like. You should be feeling sorry for me, even though I'm the bad person here. And so it just, I was so frustrated by that. So frustrated.
I did not actually notice that, but I did notice that the clown dog music plays whenever Brian's around. And
it's a soundtrack.
But it also they wove it into some other scenes where the music wasn't as noticeable.
Prominent, yeah.
So it was just like these little hints.
It's just kind of in the background.
Yeah, which is kind of fun. I've never noticed that before. That was fun.
And then another thing that I didn't appreciate about how the movies were trying to manipulate our minds was when the babysitter went and got the one brother out of the car.
Oh, yeah.
She was just like, oh my gosh, you little boy. Like, what do you think you're doing? And then she looks at the girl and she's like, you trollop. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, they were both in the car
and
together.
She put hands on them.
Like, yeah. I was like, this little, like, he invited her over, like, they're hanging out. Like, why are we automatically saying that the girl's the one that's kind of being the little, when they're both there, like, nothing's happening because they're like 9. But, like, that frustrated me too because it's just another negative thing towards women and girls. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, yeah, because girls are trollops and boys are boys. Little boys. Yeah. Boys will be boys, whatever.
Will be boys. He pulls your hair because he likes you.
Yeah. So didn't like that.
I support that 1,000%.
Thank you.
I mean, I think we're supposed to not like that because we're not supposed to like her.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. But still.
Yeah, she's not great.
Make me not like her in a different way.
Make me not like her. Because she's making the little girl wear a dress and she wants to wear her, t-shirt and baseball uniform. Like,
and whatever.
It's not hurting anybody.
Grunge wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she walks into Kenny's room, and basically has a heart attack and dies. Which his room is like not. So I'm suspecting he's going into his senior year.
That's what I would assume. Yeah.
So he's like 16, 17-ish.
I assume 16 because she's 17. Mm-hmm. So it has to be at least
like right around
younger than her. Because he's not. They're all, I believe, biological siblings.
Yes.
So he would just be the next one. Yeah.
If she's 17, he may be 15 because he says, you never drive me around anymore. Like a whiner. Even though I assumed she just had the one car because she had to have it to go to work.
Yeah.
So maybe he's 15, maybe he's 16. It's kind of unclear, but it is clear that he's going into senior year because they specifically say going into senior year.
Yeah. He just, in my head, like, it's hard. I mean, part of it is because, when you're looking at, like, the movie, like, Grease, where everyone is a 32-year-old in high school.
Yeah.
Like, it is definitely difficult for me to sometimes, like, picture, like, this is what ages. A high school kid looks like, or, like, this is what age they are. Because, like, especially over the, like, kids now, middle school girls look like they're,
it's hard to tell.
Seniors in high school. And so back then, so yeah, by looks wise, I have no idea. By actions wise, I mean, he's doing a bunch of adult things. And so I just, like, in my head, he was older than that. But it makes sense if he's a little younger, especially if Swell's the oldest.
So when, at the time of this movie, Christina Applegate was 19.
Okay.
I just lost. Walter was 11, Melissa was 14, and Zach was 15.
Okay. But they all had them playing younger, which makes sense. That's normal.
And Kenny was 21.
Okay, so he was the older one.
He was the oldest.
Which makes sense, because I think he did definitely looked older.
I think so, too.
But, yeah.
Kind of interesting. So, yeah, she can't handle Kenny's room, and basically, like, I mean, I assumed, like, it kind of sent her into shock, and she had a heart attack. But I think,
That's such an interesting point, because I just assumed she died of being old. Like, I just thought that was a part of the scene of the movie. I didn't correlate the two, that's how it was. Like, she got so worked up over seeing everything, which makes total sense. I just didn't put that together.
Because his room is a, like,
it's a den of unpleasantries.
For a little old lady, yeah. Right? Like, I mean...
Because she was able to, like, walk out of... I think that's why in my head why it was a disconnect.
She walked
out and she went to her room and she was sitting in her chair.
But you can be having symptoms of a heart attack.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, way before it comes, like, really up or whatever. I did not go to medical school, but I did sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Okay, so they find her and they decide they're going to put her in a trunk and take her to the mortuary.
Yeah. So here's the deal. We're like 10 minutes, maybe 7 minutes into this movie, and the babysitter dies. And I know the title of the movie.
Right.
Didn't think it was happening that quickly. Like, I was like, I'm sorry. What's happening? Like, she's already
you did
dead?
say that multiple times. You're like, what is even going on?
I just, honestly, so many twists and turns. Like, this movie.
It was a twist that the babysitter dies when it's literally in the title.
It wasn't a twist. It was that she died. It was just how quickly she died. I thought she was going to be around a little bit longer. And then she was like, for some reason, I didn't expect it to happen that quickly. It was just a roller coaster of emotions. That's what this movie was.
This movie does have like really fast and jumpy pacing.
Yeah.
Like it's very interesting, like
very ADHD.
the
like,
jumpiness.
We're just moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they leave her there. They realize they have no money because she put it in her pocket and they left it with her. And they ransack her room to try to find it. No money. Can't find it. They decide one of us has got to get a job. And Sue Ellen has to get a job. And she's like, it's fine. I'll just work at a clothing store.
So, like, I know that this house is huge, but, like, that's the room for the babysitter. It's a small room for the babysitter. Each of the kids have their own room. I assume mom has her own room. So we're at 6 bedrooms right now. The whole bottom floor doesn't look like there's any rooms. It's just like living room, kind of dining-ish area, like kitchen. So, like, this house is massive.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess the grandma's room was on the main floor. But, like, we see what bathroom was. Beautiful clawfoot bathtub. Love that for her. But, like, yeah, this is just an absolute wild house.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's crazy. They ransack her bedroom, can't find money. She's going to get a job at a clothing store.
Mm-hmm. Did you just copy and paste the resume?
No.
Takes her 4 seconds.
Her first job, she's like, I'll just get a job at a clothing store. And then she ends up working at the clown place.
Oh, that's right. Oh, because one of the biggest things that bugged me was that she was washing a lard encrusted pot in a hand washing sink where the counter was. Like, I've never worked in the food industry before, but I know that that's not how you're supposed to be doing it for like food safe wise and whatever. There definitely needs to be a 3-sink wash in the back where she's like soaking stuff or whatever and not you washing these incredibly large dishes in this tiny sink.
Do you think
right
Clown
in front
Dog has their food safe certification?
Yes. Even back then, yeah. They definitely would have had a larger sink
she
in
was
the back.
also touching the hot dog with her hands.
She was. With her
Without
beautifully
gloved
manicured
hands.
nails, she was putting disgusting chili on a hot dog.
And for the record, Jeremy is quick to point out that you are not supposed to squeeze grease out of burgers like that.
It would be, honestly, she would have gotten pretty splattered.
Yeah. I don't know that they would have had her doing that on her like first day either, by the way.
I wouldn't have been doing that on my first day. I would have been like, no, thank you.
So
but she gets to meet Bri.
Yes. Who's
That's
like
fun.
chipper in a fun way, but then the boss man's like super chipper in an annoying way.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy. So she quits. Like,
Way
good
to
for
go.
her. And this is is the right word, dichotomy of the situation. You are so excited that she's quitting because she's empowered to quit. And this is obviously a really crappy job. But at the same time, you're like, girl's got to have a job. What is she doing? Like, it's very contradictory.
It's like, we need to be doing something.
Yeah.
You worked one day. I assume you'll get a paycheck for it. It'll be like $30.
$30, yeah.
Like,
but that's the one point where the music is like really like, yeah, woo, you're quitting.
We did it.
And you're like, oh, but wait.
Doesn't solve anything.
No.
It's just we're happy for her that she's not at the smelly burger place anymore.
Yeah. So she copies the resume out of the book.
Yeah.
Which
like, way to go for
I'm
typing.
adding fashiony things in there.
And like, yeah, she worked in Tokyo. Like, just made herself 10 years older. Like, just a wild thing to be doing. But like, yeah, you go for it, girl.
And then she goes in and she meets Carolyn. Who's
sweet, lovely,
the worst.
Wonderful Carolyn.
She's so obnoxious. You're like, how are you Brian's sister?
You know, siblings are very different.
You know what they are? I don't even know why I said that because I know the siblings are really different. Like, you know that I know.
Like, we understand that just because you've got a group of kids doesn't mean that they're anything like each other. And so this is just the pinnacle of that.
Yeah, for sure. So she ends up getting the job because Rose is like,
just
I don't like
so
Carolyn.
enthralled with
I'll
her.
just hire you.
In 3 seconds. I mean, just takes her glasses and runs it over the paper rather than wearing her glasses while she's reading.
Right.
And scans it for 4 seconds, sees the word Tokyo and says, you know what? You're in. I don't have to do anything else.
Gal.
You're just, go figure out your 401k and your pension and make sure that's good to go. And this is going to be fabulous. This is just going to be great. This is where you'll work. This is your computer. Love it.
Yeah,
love this for you.
You're done.
Yeah.
So, by the way, coming from, like no onboarding there, no orientation, no training.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
Well, I mean, she's so qualified.
She's
she can just,
yeah, for sure.
She's got this. I don't need to train her
Here's
in any
the thing
of our
I will
system.
say. It doesn't matter how qualified you are. When you go work for a company, they have a particular way that they do things.
Yeah.
Now, it may not be like they're still meeting all the requirements they need to meet to do the job that they're doing, but there are very particular ways that they do it at that company. So you always need training.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine. Not at General Apparel West. It's fine.
Ugh. Yeah. Her gross boyfriend. Gross. First time meeting him. I was like, this is awful.
So gross.
I hate you. Don't want to be a part of any of the scenes that you're in right now. And he just continued to be that throughout the movie for me. He met expectations by continuing to be gross.
Every single time she starts to call him out for being gross or creepy, he's like, I was just kidding.
Yeah, everything is always just such a joke, which again just takes us back to
gaslighting right there, man.
And gaslighting and just how they did things back then / do things now. Sometimes some men, not all men, but
Yeah.
And so he's just anytime like his mouth and his hands, he nailed his part as being the super gross, creepy man.
Yeah,
because
did, for
every
sure.
time I was just like, no, thank you, please.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My favorite thing about this movie is when she says, it doesn't matter who I'm on the phone with. If I ask you something, I need you to say, I'm right on top of that, Rose. And that's my favorite part because to this day, I didn't realize how big that phrasing was because I remember it. But I remember the weird, obscure things about movies that other people don't always remember. That's just sort of part of who I am.
Yeah.
This is apparently a thing. This is a thing that a lot of people remember.
Yeah, I've definitely heard this phrase before.
And I didn't realize that it was so out there, and it just makes me so happy, actually. So
I'm a little bummed that they didn't do it. I thought it was going to be an ongoing thing because she made it such a specific thing, and then it was only done once. And I was just kind of like, I'm ready for this call. This callback could have been called back more.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think that would have been great, but it's fine.
The timing, I forgot to tell you about my favorite part or second favorite part or whatever. But we completely talked all the way over the montage of her finding a professional outfit.
Yeah.
We love how I love montages.
Yes.
But the other thing that I was going to say is the timing is I cannot figure it out. I might have to rewatch, but the friends are going away for 1 month. The mom was going away for 2 months?
2 months.
School starts next week. They just let out of school. So this happens over 2 months, but it does not feel like 2 months. It's 2 months because they make the comment this has to be done by this week and this has to be done. They're making comments that seem contradictory to the overall timeline of the movie. So I'm not sure how long she's had this job actually.
And we only see her get a paycheck once. And you're supposed to get 2 paychecks a month, the 1st and the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was somewhere in there that she was getting more paychecks and that because, it doesn't do a great. I wish we could have seen a calendar at one point or, something to show us that progress of time.
In a better way.
We do get some markers. She's got good relationships with employees there. So, she's obviously making connections there and people feel comfortable with her. Yeah, she's communicating with, the people downstairs and, the other secretaries. So, we're seeing that she's, meeting people and doing some things, but I'm not getting to see how often or,
What I love is she's repeating Rose back to these employees in these conversations she's supposed to have. Yeah. Don't get overwhelmed. Just do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And
she's just...
You're going to land on your feet. You're going to find a better job than this one. And which is just entertaining, but also it's kind of that's sort of the way it works sometimes.
She's just being taken what she's being told and just
Yeah.
giving it right back and being like, okay, I guess this is how we do it. She is honestly, she's good at working on her feet. Like she does a very good job of like adapting to the situation, trying to figure out a way. I mean, but she's also, you know, a child. So like it takes, like she's not doing everything perfectly, but
Right.
I think she does a pretty decent job for in a very overwhelming situation of having to literally provide food for her siblings to make sure that they're eating, to be able to, this would have been such a DCS call. Like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what would have happened in that situation. And like, if we hadn't been able to get a hold of a parent and the babysitter's just not there, like
What would have been like the first thing that would have been, what would have initiated the call that you would have to go check out?
So that's another part of it is that just like the documentation when one of the children ended up falling off the roof because he wanted to watch TV because his brother was getting high in his room with his buddies. And so then she just shows up at the hospital saying that she's mom to this child, but no documentation was put over. No papers were signed. No insurance was taken. I have no idea how they paid for it. He just handed the woman a script and said, here you go. They said that they were son, stepson, and mom. Like that's just how it is. And so like that would have been for sure a DCS call, but I assume we would have gotten a call beforehand, just because I know that they don't live super near people, but there had to have been other people generally in the area that would have checked up on these children at some point, even though there was that babysitter. And I feel like that just, or like them, they were out in the community, they were at Chuck E. Cheese at one point.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that those kids were semi well behaved enough that like nobody would have been like, hey, like there's just like a bunch of kids here. Like what's going on? But I mean, it was the 90s. It was a different time or whatever. But yeah, it was just, there was so much happening where I'm just like, this is so unsafe. And this is just, it's not a good situation. Especially with how, honestly, I'm sure that her son was getting in trouble at school and doing things through that. So that could have been a call from a school person just being like him, like, oh, okay.
School
like
was
he's
out.
not being, I know, but prior to that, like prior to the mom,
they would have been on the radar. They would have been paying attention.
They would have been on the radar.
Yeah. So creepy Gus, she's making her way at the job. She's still dating Brian.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny has
cute.
finally come to his senses and realized like he has to be a semi-responsible adult for these children.
Yeah.
And he starts making waffles, which is funny. Like he starts watching.
He was watching
Julia Childs
with Walter.
Which, like, if you're going to break into cooking, that's the way you should go. Watch some Julia Child, and then you're there.
Yeah, I did appreciate getting to see his progression because we got to see how he started with like the crispy, you know, half waffle burnt, and then we got to see the perfected waffle. Like, I mean, just over that time.
How often is he cooking those to get that? Because, like, you don't go from horrible to very good in a day.
So, so I guess was a good progression of time marker for us is that he was, you know, it took them time to kind of get there and to do that. So, and then we did see but the one progression of time was just like 1 week, just from cleaning up the entire house.
Oh my gosh. And the
like,
pool.
This is wild.
And painting of the house.
Yeah.
Like, which are all good things that needed done for like just general upkeep. But wow. In 1 week.
And this was at the end of the summer at that point. He mowed the lawn for the first time because, you know, he hadn't mowed the lawn before then. So for him to be able to get it started and then to just start mowing, like that was ridiculous because he would have needed like a monster mower. Like there would have been grasses up to like people's hips and stuff. Well, I mean,
you're in California, so.
Okay. And I don't do yard work, so I don't know.
I'm just saying it's not the same as it is here where, you know, it rains and the grass grows 4 inches.
Yeah. But it was just.
But still, your point is taken,
The timelines of everything was just kind of
crazy.
Yeah. I did also, there was sometimes just like little bits in there that like never referenced again. The drag queens
stealing the Buick.
The car.
Yeah.
And then they just were down a car. And so she had to start driving her mom's car.
Because what are they going to say? Drag queens stole our dead babysitter's car?
Yeah. And then that was it. I was waiting for a loop, like a drag queen was going to show up or something. And nope.
That's it. Sometimes bad things just happen, Rachel.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes a drag queen like hot wires your car and steals it from your dead babysitter. All right. You just got to keep going.
I did forget to point out at the very beginning, you were like, are there 4 people in the back seat of that car?
Yes, there were so many people in all these cars at all times. They were just crammed in there.
Yeah.
Such tiny cars and to have so many people in them.
Such tiny people. All these people were super, super skinny people.
They honestly, there wasn't a single overweight person in this entire movie.
Freaking gaslighting 90 movies.
That's because they're all surviving off of Diet Coke and cocaine. So everybody was super skinny.
I think it was Diet Dr. Pepper and Tab.
Ugh, whatever.
Oh, Diet Sprite? Oh, I thought Diet Dr. Pepper. My bad.
Yeah. Not much health-wise going on here. No apple a day to keep the doctor away. So, yeah. Oh, my heavens. I didn't love the fight that she and Brian got into about how just because he didn't know where she worked.
Yeah.
And like
they've been dating for a week or less.
We don't know. We don't know how long they've been dating. But just, yeah, I didn't appreciate the arguments that they were coming from and how she was like trying to like be like, oh, I'm so sorry. But also like, you just need to trust me. Because like, I get it. It would be kind of weird that your girlfriend's not telling you where she's working. But like, I don't know.
There's a lot of insecurity on both parties right there. And so it's causing them to act in ways that they maybe wouldn't normally act.
Yeah.
But also they are 17 and possibly 18.
Their brains aren't fully developed.
So they are making like these weird jumps like, oh, you must be dating another guy.
Yeah.
If you don't tell me where you work. Like, okay, that definitely means that.
Yeah, those correlate really well. Like, yeah. No.
Listeners, we're both shaking our heads in disappointment and disbelief, just so you know.
Yeah, I really, truly loved all of the outfits because there was, I think, only one time that she was in the same outfit.
Oh, like all of her work outfits?
And all of her work outfits or like places that she was going and stuff. I think the only time, and it was just because it was in the same day, because it was when she was shopping with her friends and then when her mom was leaving. Like, that's the only time that she was in the same outfit for, like, multiple scenes. Yeah. And then she's been in a different outfit every time. Her accessories, her, like...
So on point.
It was so fun and just so... So that was one of the things I really enjoyed was, like, her fashion choices and how they just kept that going throughout. Because it did tie into fashion choices that she was making for the company in the end and stuff like that.
Which... are their takes on uniforms, but I'm not 100% clear. We're giving you a bellhop uniform and we're going to allow you to adapt it for your teenage girl for a school uniform? Is that what we're trying to say?
So that's the thing. I fully didn't understand the fashion show at the end. I mean, the nurse and the bellhop and the I had no idea. Why? It was fun.
Yeah.
Sure. But I have no idea how that's going to save the company or what that looks like. That was just like...
I think they don't want you to care about that. They really just want you to care about, is she going to save the company with her whatever idea that is? Because they don't ever really tell you what the idea is.
Yeah. It's just, hey, we're busy. We're working late.
Me? So Jeremy said they're dropping uniforms completely. They're repurposing all their uniform line to just be clothes that people can buy and wear.
Which, still interesting. See, here's the deal. Because the first thing that she pulled out when she was like thinking of the idea
was like the waitress outfit, right?
Was like, it was like a striped shirt and then like, and so I was like, ooh, that's kind of fun.
That's cute.
And she kind of put a tassel down. But then what I saw in the runway show
was anything.
Not that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, because the first thing that she was doing, I could see as more realistic of like trying to take the uniforms and put them into real life wear. But then it just didn't translate into it. But that's fine because they had fun with it and they saved the company. And
they saved the company. She's got buyers lined up.
Yeah.
Like 10 buyers or something like that.
We're not telling New York about it, but they'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
The fashion choice I did not appreciate was Kenny's jeans. He had holes all the way down the front.
Oh, his jeans from his like rebel area.
In the back.
Right under his butt cheeks.
Right under his butt. I was just like, if he were to bend over, you could see his tighty whities. That's not something I'm
okay
interested
with
in.
Not seeing that.
Just did not appreciate that.
Yeah.
And the only time that we saw Brian not in his work outfit was, I think, the time they were on the beach.
No, and the time they were at the mall.
Oh, that's right. When they went on the date at the store. But he was pretty much in his
corn dog outfit. Clown dog,
time.
Whatever.
Yeah.
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 Not my favorite outfit. I don't know why he's driving that van around either.
Everywhere. It's his, work
it's his
from
primary
home
vehicle.
He has it everywhere. It's constantly singing.
It's constantly singing.
It's constantly making noises. He can just pick up people. He's driving around on the weekends.
Yeah.
And delivering
What's with the insurance on that car?
Into the city to drop off food for his sister?
Sometimes he goes out of his way to bring me lunch. Okay?
But into the city, because they live outside of the city.
Correct.
And that's where they went. That was where her first job was. So it's just this is very much out of his way during the lunch hour rush, ma'am.
Yeah, agree on all these things.
Oh my gosh. And then we get to the end where, mom comes home.
Everything happens at once. Everything.
So upset. Because the house is clean and they're having a party. She said, you can't have a party. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Mom. Let's utilize some context clues and figure out what's going on here.
Does this look
before
like a
we
party?
decide to interrupt what's going on. Also, Bri, let's use some context clues and see all these cars in the driveway / front yard, and there's lights up, and maybe not scream into the megaphone with your little corn dog music going on.
Yeah.
What is happening? Oh my gosh.
And she stuck with it really well. Until the end, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is so much.
There's just too much going on. Which is fair because she's a 17-year-old and she's getting overwhelmed because she's doing an adult job.
Why did Kenny go to Swell instead of distract Mom?
Yeah. Just be like, oh, we need to finish this fashion thing, and then Mom can yell at us
then we'll
because
tell you
she's
about
mad.
everything.
Oh my heavens.
Also, she went right to upset, not even
hey, where's
what's
all my children?
Here?
Is everyone safe?
Yeah.
Who are all these people? Why is there so much food? Why does it look so nice
It's not like you came home to your teenagers throwing a party and they were drinking and there was crap all over the floor.
Happening.
Yeah.
There was some lights. There was a few cars. But how did she?
But
was it a taxi?
Loud rock music.
Yeah.
I mean, there was music playing for the show, but it wasn't.
No, it was fine. It was just runway music. Yeah. And then, so she tells everyone oh my gosh, I lied. The big moment that you knew what was going to happen. And then, she runs off and she's just like, okay, you guys need to go outside and clean up. Mom, we'll just talk about this in the morning. So she just came over, just was a mom. And the mom was just so amazed that she was taking over. The kids were.
Hold on. We have to roll back.
Okay.
Because I forgot that this happened before that.
Okay.
When she comes home and Kenny's annoyed because she never calls anymore and tells him he's going to be late. And actually, might have been even before that, she comes home and she's like, you need to clean up. Why didn't you do your dishes or something like that? And Kenny's like, you take it so personally.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what? She's like, why didn't you unload the dishwasher? And Kenny's like, well, that's Zach's job. And I was like, that was a really good callback to the beginning.
Yeah.
And then, they come home and Kenny's like, you never call when you're going to be late. I fed the kids and put them to bed, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I totally just lost my thread. I just thought that was important because she's understanding what it's like to have to do everything that presumably that her mom is going to be having to do. And she's definitely taken this role of responsibility on.
Yeah.
For sure. And then they it's really great because you see them have this argument and they kind of connect at the end and they're done with it,
Yeah.
So I appreciated that. But then go ahead, Sue Ellen's like, you guys go to bed.
Yeah, she puts the little kids to bed. They say goodnight, give her a hug and kiss, and they just go to bed with no argument. And the mom's just watching, and she's like, okay, you two need to go out there and finish cleaning up. I'm going to be out there in a second. Mom, you just go to bed and take a, shower or whatever. And then we'll just talk about this in the morning. And so just seeing her daughter switch into this motherly mode, she's shocked about, but also just follows through with
It's a little interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple things here that I like. And the one is specifically that a traumatic event which I think we can say your babysitter dying on you and then you know, putting them into one of those big trunks and taking them to mortuary, like that's going to be traumatic.
Sure.
Excuse me. That's going to be traumatic. So I think it's interesting how those kinds of things can change you in a very short period of time.
Mm.
And there's definitely, this is a rough relationship to like re-navigate because mom was away and she's coming back expecting everything to be the same, but it's definitely not the same because all of the kids have grown up a little bit.
Yeah.
Which, here's an interesting thing. They had to because they had to have responsibility that they didn't have before.
Yeah.
But they also forged bonds in that because they had to do it for each other.
Yeah. And
so that's going to be interesting for mom to navigate when she's home.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Swell because she has been so accustomed to, because like when you're a teenager and you go through those like traumatic experiences and then you start taking on responsibilities that you shouldn't have to be taking on, but you take on. And then you sometimes a parent wants to like switch back and is just like, no, this is my job. Like you just need to be a kid. It's very difficult.
It's hard to
for that teenager to try to
recalibrate.
Have to go back to because that's just not something that can because it's just like, no, like this is what I've been doing to survive for this amount of time.
Overnight.
And so like I can't just flip back and now you decide you want to be a parent. And so this is how we're going to do it. So
the other thing at the end that I thought was interesting is that she's talking to Brian and Brian's like, well, we broke up. And she's like, we had a fight, which I think is so interesting because having a fight does not automatically equal breaking up. But at some point in the world, we went from this having a fight means like, we're no longer
over.
Yeah,
and it's just like,
over.
no, this is part of life.
Yeah,
like,
which you're gonna fight with people.
Have
like
to communicate.
Happens. So this is the first time I actually noticed that, and I thought it was really interesting. But then he's like, "What are you doing on New Year's Eve?" Which Rachel's sitting across the room. She's like, "New Year's Eve? That's like 5 months away. What are you doing?"
The concept of time which I guess if he's going to go away to school and she's going to maybe go away to school.
He should be back for some kind of Thanksgiving break.
There'll be a fall break. Yeah. There'll be a Christmas break. Yeah. Like there'll be a Thanksgiving break.
Why are we being so dramatic, Brian?
There's weekends. Like you can travel on the weekends. Like, I mean, I don't know where he's going, but he's got his corn dog van. So like he'll, have that for transportation. But yeah, it's just, I thought that was a silly line. So I laughed pretty hard.
His brain's not fully developed. He was just thinking, I got to lock her in.
Oh, my heaven. He was just looking for that New Year's kiss. He was like, okay,
that
this
kiss.
is it.
So then they're kissing and mom goes, hey, Swell, where's the babysitter?
And it's like, oh, yeah, I kind of forgotten about that for a half second. And so it's just like, oh, that's a whole nother explanation that's going to have to be shared and like figured out.
It's never going to happen. Yeah. Because the movie ends.
Because it's just like, oh, we're done.
Yep. What did you think of like the little end scene where they're like, this nice old lady left us money?
I was amused. I was just kind of like, oh, this is a nice little callback. Like we get to see them and they buried her with just the sign that they had written in Sharpie on
nice
there.
Old lady.
Like, just like, okay, this is it. Do you still have any money left over? Like, what do we got going on? Like, yeah. So I'm curious how long it took to bury them. Or to bury her, and to like get the stone set and everything. I assume not. I mean, we didn't see. They don't ask for papers at the hospital when you break your legs. So
it was a different time.
It was a wild time.
Okay, so as far as how do you think this movie ages?
It's not one that I'm going to run to be like, oh my gosh, nieces, let's sit down and watch this.
Oh yeah,
like this is not. Yeah, like I think if you grew up with it and you've got memories with it, then like great, more power to you.
Probably not one you're going to watch again.
But no, this is a one and done. I saw it and I'm good to go. I don't think I missed any Easter eggs that I need to like go back and research or anything. I think it was, fun for its time. I've got lessons that I would tell people if I watch with them again of like, no, this is how you don't let people treat you, yada, yada.
Don't do this.
Yeah. Although the fashion choices were great. So like if we wanted to do a deep dive on outfits or like something like that,
you're
then
down
maybe,
for that. Yeah.
But not for like just the plot of the movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I probably won't seek it out, but if it's on, I probably wouldn't turn it off. Yeah. Like it's just funny.
It's a fun like background one for you because you have those memes with it and yeah.
so entertaining to just not have to like do too much.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening. And if you particularly liked it or did not like it, call us and let us know.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.